listeners out there. Welcome to Blow by Blow, episode 2, where tonight the doubleheader, the Charlos brothers, put on the show. They officially entered the pound for pound list, even on the haters list. In the meantime, I actually have my man Dante. So shout out to my Akhi, my broski Dante, the entrepreneur of new media that I'm a part of. What was your take on Jermall? Was you impressed by the way he fought tonight and won in spectacular fashion?
I was impressed with a whole lot of stuff, man. I mean, first of all, when you step up in competition, it's hard to look that dominant. Usually when people step up in competition, it's a close tooth and nail type of affair. But that's what I really like about the Charlos. They step up in competition, and 9 times out of 10, they win in a dominant performance. And that's the difference from a Canelo and a Gennady Golovkin, which I know that's going to piss off a whole bunch of Canelo and Golovkin fans. But the truth is the truth. When they step up like that, they struggling. It's controversial and all of that stuff. But when like you got Jermall Charlo, he just beat someone who just knocked out Julian Williams, who his other brother knocked out Julian J. Rock Williams when he was undefeated. Now the younger brother is knocking out the dude who beat him to unify the belts. They do it in impressive fashion, man. And for him to knock him out with a jab to the solar plexus, yeah, man, that was extremely impressive, man.
Yeah, that was a Floyd Mayweather type of jab. We've seen Floyd Mayweather early on in his career actually stop somebody to the jab. However, when it came to Jermall, he had Rosario in a stroke fashion. Now, I hope he's okay, but I never seen that before. Have you ever seen somebody get hit to the body with a jab and react in that fashion?
I ain't never seen it like that. Not to that extent, at least. I mean, I've seen some people go down cringing, for a while. What comes to mind is when De La Hoya got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins, when he was in tremendous pain, but not the way, but yeah, not to this extent, because like you said, it looked like your boy Rosario, yeah, he was having a stroke. He was all messed up. I mean, it just paralyzed him in pain. So yeah, I haven't seen it to that extent. Yeah, that's crazy.
To add on to your point, when they do step up, the Charlo brothers, they always put on a spectacular performance because Jermall, on one hand, when he fought Lubin, that was a huge step up. He knocked him out in 1 round. And now he stepped up against Rosario, a unification bout where he dropped him twice. And the 3rd time, he stopped him with a jab to the body. So he definitely made a statement. Now, when it comes to Jermall, is it safe to say he's officially a top pound-for-pound fighter?
Yeah, I was actually about to say that when I was talking before. I was like, he definitely cracked the top 10. I need to go over, once again, me and you, we're going to go ahead and especially go through all the other fighters because I want to put them in the right order. But he definitely cracked the top 10 with a performance like that, unifying the belts. That, they had said it during the broadcast. This was number 1 going up against number 2 in the division. And once again, he did it in impressive fashion. So, yes, yeah, man, and boxing, he definitely is in the top 10.
Yeah, and boxing is the theory of the unexpected. That's why you can't play the triangle theory. In the 154-pound division, it's even the circular theory because the belt's been circulating in that division. But Jermall remains on top, and he's still on top to this day. Performance. He won in such a spectacular fashion that the haters have to acknowledge his greatness. So when it comes to Jermall, I know you saw his performance. So what was your take on his performance against Deryachenko?
Well, the first thing that I noticed is he beat him. He dominated him in a more impressive fashion than Danny Jacobs and Golovkin did because the fights were a little bit closer. But he just completely dominated. I mean, Sergey, he does what he always does. He starts off a little slow. Charlo, he hurt him a couple times, especially earlier on. But then Sergey started to pick it up. And this is, once again, what impresses me with the Charlos is nothing will deter them. It don't matter if you're trying to walk them down like Jason Rosario was trying to walk down Jermall. It don't matter if you're coming forward throwing punches and bunches like Sergey was doing against Jermall. They keep their composure. They're relaxed at all times, no matter what they're dealing with, like Floyd Mayweather was. Floyd can get hurt by Shane Mosley and still be relaxed, not panicking. So that's what I was mostly impressed with when it came to Jermall. He wanted to knock out really, really bad, but Sergey just wasn't going nowhere. But he created distance in terms of him beating him in a more impressive fashion than everybody else did. So that was a good test to be passed.
Yeah, I feel the same way because if you recall the Gennady Golovkin versus Deryachenko, I had Deryachenko beating Gennady Golovkin. A lot of people did as well.
A lot of people did. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So for Jermall to pull off that type of a performance against a top middleweight, it just showed their class and the separation between them and a lot of these fighters in their division. I did feel like Jermell, when he was fighting Rosario, you remember Rosario was going to the body very well. I felt like he could have utilized the counter uppercut, kind of like Jermall does. So what was your take on that? You think it was his style, or an uppercut is not his favorite punch like his brother?
I mean, he probably could have landed some uppercuts, but I know that Rosario, he had a real tight winky right type of guard, when he was coming in them first couple rounds. But yeah, I mean, of course, Jermell, he probably could have split the guard, but he was still effective, with them right hands, and especially the right hand that clipped him on the top of the head, where his guard wasn't at. Went above the guard and clipped him on top of his head. And then with that left hook that he knocked him down with later on in the fight, yeah, I mean, he was still able to land other shots, but I guess he had no confidence that it would land, I guess.
Right. And I must ask you this question, Dante. When Jermell fought Lubin, and obviously when Jermall fought my man J-Rock, they fought those guys when they were undefeated. So a lot of people compare their performance then. So if we do compare their performance now, who topped who?
You mean out of the Charlo brothers?
Tonight, if you compare their performance, who topped who tonight?
Tonight? Well, of course it was Jermell. I mean, of course it was Jermell. I mean, he just unified the belts. He just beat someone coming off of their biggest win. You know what I'm saying? And the dude was good. And once again, he was coming forward. It wasn't like he just beat him unanimous decision. They were both impressive. But to knock out somebody like Jason Rosario after he just came off of that J-Rock win, yeah, he was more impressive. No doubt about it.
Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I took up the world. I took up the world. I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.